Mrparka here to review the Collective Volume 4. I have seen the Collective Volume 1, but it's been a very long time. So this is 10 films, 10 short films, 10 10-minute films, all with the same sort of type story. They're all made by 10 different directors, which is a really cool idea. And basically this one was emotions. We have regret, lust, fear, trust, envy, schadenfreude, I don't know that emotion, rage, denial, hate, and grief. I'm going to start off with the order they go through. Regret was the one story that involved kind of like a geneticist, and she was working on this thing, mixing wolves with people, and she kind of made like this wolfman thing, and they did it kind of like a police interview. It's really well made and well crafted, and I thought it was a pretty decent all-around story. Then there was Lust, which is kind of a weird story. The best part about this one to me was the score. It was it got repetitive, but I really enjoyed it. It kind of had a weird kind of country like sorrow feel to it. And this woman goes into this old house where a tragedy happens, and she kind of intertwined somewhat with this bride and groom. It's alright. It does have a bit of nudity. That one was decent. Then A Fear, which is kind of a strange story. I called a big part of it. I think it was fairly obvious that part was going to happen, but the very end was not fairly obvious at all. The very end, because it really didn't make that much sense, but there was something in the dark. That's all I'm really going to say. This lady's afraid of the dark, and she goes to a psychiatrist, and there's also a serial killer going on. You know, it's kind of your typical story like that. Then we have Trust, which is by Dustin Mills, who did Puppet Monster Massacre and Zombie A-Hole, Basalt Zombies. But Trust kind of was your melt movie. It's about this guy, this virus going around, and he orders up this pizza and he eats it, and he thinks he's infected, and you slowly see him deteriorate. Actually, to be honest, I have a little cameo in that one because Dustin's Toledo and he needed somebody to fill in, and I was the CDC guy at the very end. You can't see my face, but you know. But I enjoy that one. It kind of has an old school melt movie feel to it, and there's some nasty effects in there.
Yes, I'm vomiting blood. There are blisters forming on my face.
We'll add you to the list. Someone will be dispatched to your location as soon as possible. We'll give you a call when someone's on their way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Then we have Envy, which is a really strange kind of deal about this girl who's jealous of her friend who's kind of like a prostitute because she thinks, oh, I'm not good enough looking, blah, 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 you are, or whatever, or you don't think I can be a whore, screw you. But she ends up taking one of her calls, and you think something horrible is going to happen. You're like, oh, that's pretty bad. You kind of think, well, it's going to be like Lucifer Valentine. She's going to be tortured and killed or something like that. But it takes a complete 180 and goes into the next film, which is Rage, which basically turns into an all-out exploitation throwback type deal. The CGI I really didn't care for. It was pretty bad, but it was low budget. It's really over the top, really silly, really ridiculous, really retarded, but people get a kick out of it, I think, and those two go together, and it's also cool. I've never seen that done.
Well, hey there, Spanky. We meet again.
Your girl gave me crabs again, Silky.
No refunds, cocksucker.
No, I told you what was gonna happen. You gonna die.
No, bitch. I'm gonna spank your ass. Snake Eyes, bitch!
An anthology. I skipped over Schadenfreude, which is really kind of a weird story with a really good idea, but I'm not sure necessarily if I really liked it. It is two different. Some of it's shot in America, I think some shot in Greece, and it kind of is an old tale about an old Greek story or classic tale with I don't remember any of the people's names, but it's like a legendary story, and it's kind of intertwined with now, and it's really strange, really weird. This guy goes to the doctors about his nightmare, and he unveils who he is and why it's happening, and it's reoccurring, and it's a really cool idea. It's just very strange stuff. And then we have Denial, which I thought Denial was one of the best too. I really liked Trust, Denial, and Grief. Denial I really enjoyed for the reason that it opened up and it was narration, and it felt a lot like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre narration. It was like 10 minutes of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre opening narration. It was just taking these small shots of this town, of this house, and it would tell the story of Mary Kepper, who they called Grandma Louise. Or was it Mary Kepper? Grandma Louise Kepper. And it was really crazy story about this. It would have been a true crime type story and all the details of the case. And I really enjoyed it, which is surprising because it's so simple, but it's also so genius at the same time. And just hearing somebody tell a really scary true story sometimes is scarier than anything that you could watch. So I think this works really well, and I think it's a nice piece of fake true crime, if that makes sense. But I enjoyed that one a lot.
In the early morning hours of June 25th, 1991, 46-year-old David Michael Bryant was flagged down by a wilting and bloody female on his way to work. When Bryant asked 19-year-old Aniki K. Boone what had happened, she responded with only, "She's going to kill you. She's going to kill us all."
That one was by Spiral Filmworks, Denial, and there's Hate. Let me think about Hate was kind of like the weird punkish one about somebody with a bunch of teenage angst about his parents passing, and it showed him what he did and things like that. This one I thought was okay. I thought some of I liked how they did the credits and things like that. I thought were cool, but it was kind of just your teenage angst type story. But there's good things to it. And finally, Grief, which started. It's kind of like an August Underground thing going on here. And there's two couple tied together, and there's these two guys over them, and one saying, "Frank, you thought you got away from us, Frankie, but you killed my brother, and I'm going to kill you and your girl," and stuff like that. And at first he denies it, and his girl's screaming he's not Frank, but it turns out this guy has moved on and changed his identity, did something in the past. The guy who is basically doing the initial, more aggressive screaming reminds me of Kevin Gage. He does a really good job. He's really kind of crazy and realistic, and he does come off drunk. He's getting drinking and stuff like that, and I thought that was cool. It does a circular camera thing. This is the one that opens up with it. I thought it was a cool take, and I thought that it reminded me of kind of like an August Underground type deal. The little bit of special effects in there are really good. I mean, it's just your typical blood, but the way they shoot it and things like that, it works well.
You touch my girl,
Quiet!
I will fucking
Ain't no
kill
one
you.
talking to you, man. Where are you going?
Whatever your fucking beef is with me, take it
Yeah.
with me.
You going that way?
Please let us go. Please.
What do you want? If you touch my old lady, I'll
Please,
kill
we
you.
didn't do anything. Please.
Man, I'm sorry.
Justin!
You're just look, come here.
I know, baby.
I'm sorry.
Don't touch my old lady!
You're just in the middle of it. It happens that way.
Justin, who is this?
Man. Who is this, Justin?
Tell her who you are, Frankie.
You wanna know who
I
I
don't know
am?
what you're talking about.
Come on, Frankie. You know who you are.
Who the fuck is Frankie?
Baby, don't listen to them.
You have the wrong people. That's not his name.
Really? Really?
Who's
Hey, you
casually drinking at a bar. What the fuck?
feed her the line, man.
Please let
Come
us
on.
go.
Ah!
camera works well too. Kind of could make some people dizzy. But I thought that was solid. So my 3 favorites, I would really say, were Trust, which I thought had a really fun, kind of melt type deal to it. Denial, which I liked a lot, and Grief. Also, some other ones that I would, all of them are worth checking out because some of them are so different. Those 3 were definitely my favorites. I had the most fun with those, and I was, looking forward to them, and I thought all of them had their own different style, so it's kind of unique watching them. But this is the Collective Volume 4. There'll be a link where you can buy it, probably Jab Pictures down there. But yeah, I dug it. Like I said, I love these kind of like short collective type deals like this. You get 10 different directors, you get 10 times to impress somebody. But thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.